You're listening to the Chronicles of Living podcast, where we talk to everyday people about everyday things in the past, present, and future. Now let's talk. Greetings, my visionary dreamers. How is everybody doing on Let's Talk Sunday? I apologize for the lateness. I didn't even get a chance to play my theme music, and I hope you heard the first part of the intro. But I just got back in town, and I was rushing, as I do from time to time. Was out in NY. My son decided to get a tattoo. He's been wanting his tattoo forever. Finally got it, and it's beautiful. I love it. I love his choice. I was against it at first, but I love his choice. It's a very meaningful tattoo. But I'm going to get right to the show today because I'm late. I was out there chilling with my brother. I realized that we haven't seen each other physically for like 4 years, both of my brothers. And it's crazy because we all live in different states, even my mother. And it's just, sometimes it could be a challenge. But when you have life, family, and all of that stuff. But it's always great to get that time in. But nevertheless, I'm going to get to the topic of today. When it's time to go, it's time to go. And to my new listeners out there today, just want to a brief explanation about the show, Chronicles of Living. I am Adion, your dream pusher, your lifeguard, saving you from yourself, from the world, from some real bullshit. And this is Chronicles of Living podcast show, the show for everyday people doing everyday things, living everyday life. And what I talk about here is the real deal. It's some real stuff, real situations that you can all relate to in some type of way, whether it was past, present, or future. Well, we can't say future, but when you get to the future, you might be able to relate to some of the past shows. Let's say that. Or either your friends, family members, co-workers might have went through, or they are going through the different topics that I'm talking about, and it can help you to get clarity as to different approaches you might be able to take in those situations of knowing different people or either with yourself. So that's what this show is all about, okay? It's all about helping us become the best versions of ourselves so that we can live out our dreams, visions, our passions with excellence, or the best way we can, guys. So, okay, let's get right down to it. So, when it's time to go, it's time to go. So, it is time for me to go. That's where I am right now, and that's why I'm talking about this topic today. If you've been following the show, you know that I have moved around a lot throughout my life, but this time it is so different. And I say that because I have grown so much. A lot of my moves, I realized, were for other people. A lot of them, really, like probably 70%. And when I say for other people, rather it was a planned thing or rather it was a thing that something happened and I realized later that my move was really for someone else. Rather it was to get to know someone, help someone out, or learn something from someone. In that case, it was for me. But nevertheless, I truly have come to conclusion and have accepted that every last one of my moves were worth it. Every last one of them. I don't care if it was for 1 month or a year or 3 years, but all of them were worth it. I got growth out of them. I learned new things. I met new people. I really learned a lot about me, who I am, the different gifts and talents that I have to offer the world. I've grown not just within my personal being, my spiritual being, my soul, but I've grown as a human being. I've grown my talents and my gifts, and all of them have went to the next level in different ways. I have learned how to bring my gifts together that they can benefit one another and work as one, work as their own little team, so that things like this podcast show, my books, my websites, or whatever I do is more beneficial, not just to me, but to those who listen or view or read or use my workbooks, interact with my books. So I say all that to say, when you know in your heart that it is time to go. Don't second think it. Don't ask a bunch of other people's opinion, because that's the part that will confuse you. That's the part that will keep you stuck. When you ask other people's opinions about what it is that you feel strong about on your heart, 9 times out of 10, fear is going to get in your heart, or you're going to start doubting yourself. You're going to start doubting what's in your heart. You're going to or you might wind up getting so stuck that you never go. And I don't just mean moving physically from a home or an apartment or a city, state, country. I mean moving as far as your purpose, moving as far as a relationship that's just, is just dead, moving as far as a career, switching careers when you're so used to this certain career that you feel like, oh, there's no other career that will fit you. There's no other career you might be making a whole bunch of money, and you feel like, oh, if I switch up, that means I got to start all over, and I might not make as much money as I'm making right now. But deep inside that is more to you. Deep inside you have more to offer the world, more to offer yourself, more to offer your family. That's when it's time to move. It's time to let the fear go. It's time to let the temptations go. It's time to really look inside and be honest with yourself. Ask yourself, do I want to be here this time next year? Do I want to be in the same position doing the same thing? Do I want to be around these same people? Do I want to still be living in this same atmosphere, this same home, same apartment? Do I want to really still be working at the same job, around dealing with these same co-workers that I really want to choke sometimes? I'm not promoting violence, okay? But I'm just speaking some truth, y'all. See, I'm so grateful to God that I am a person that knows how to follow my gut and go deep within and really be truthful with myself and ask myself, okay, if I stay, what would be the outcome? If I really stay for another year or another 2, 3, 5 years, what could my life look like? What is it that, not the money factor, but me, my life? How much more can I grow? That is the most important thing. How much more can you grow where you are right now? How much more can you grow in that job, in that career, in that relationship, in that house, in that apartment? How much more can you grow? That is the key question. Because if you can't see that you personally can grow, whether it be mind, spirit, soul, the 3 most important things in order to be the best version of yourself, if you can't see yourself 5 years from now where you are right now growing, then it's time to go. It's time to go and not second think it, not ask no one else about it. It's time to pack your shit and go. That's what I'm your dream pusher, y'all. I'm here to push you off that ledge that you holding tight to. You know, I could just picture right now. It's like Spirit is showing me this vision of somebody holding on to this branch. They almost fell off the cliff, and down the bottom of that cliff, it's like a bunch of beautiful garden and water, nice clean water, and beautiful trees and fruit and all of this beautiful stuff is at the bottom of this cliff. And at the top of this cliff, it's just kind of dry. The grass is patchy, it's green in one area and kind of brown in another area. The trees are kind of wilted. They're not as healthy. They're kind of dried out. The fruit is on the ground and has little rotten little holes in it. But yet you almost falling, and then you just see this little branch towards the top of that ledge, and you catch hold of that branch and you hold it on for dear life. You just don't want to let that other life go. You don't want to let the old go. You don't want to let what you know go to find out the new things that God has for you, to find out the new life, the new energy, the new adventures, the new money, the new careers, the new talents and gifts that God has for you at the bottom of that cliff. That is what we all struggle with at one time or another in our lives, except me. Anybody that know me know when it's time to go, it's time to go. They know that when I tell them that Spirit has spoken to my heart, I don't second guess it. Yes, I do plan it out. Yes, I do think about the outcome. Yes, I do, sometimes I just feel it so strongly, I believe, and it works out. It works out. And when it's time to go, it's time to go, wherever I was at. But what I have come to realize and what I really started doing was writing down everything that I got out of every move. The reasons why I moved, the people that I met, what I got out of it. How have I grown as a person, as a spirit, how has my soul grown? That's what I started doing, and that's why right now I am okay with it. I am fine with when my spirit says go. So let me just rewind a little bit. Last week on the 8th of this month, I was getting ready to end one of my contracts. I think that next day. But that day, on the 8th, I was supposed to start this little part-time job, which I shared last week. And I was driving and I was drinking my little green matcha, I'll say green tea frappuccino, okay? I'm sipping on it, sitting there, got my little turn signal on. I'm waiting to turn into the driveway of this part-time job I'm going to start. And there's a funeral line coming on the other side, so I'm waiting. I see this rear view mirror. I see somebody coming, but it's like a main street. So I'm like, okay, yeah, he gonna stop. So I'm just sipping. Next thing I know, bam, he just hit me from the back out of nowhere. Frappuccino, green spots everywhere in the ceiling of my car, all of this stuff. So, of course, I handle my business and all of that. But I share that to tell you this is what opened this new door to let me know it was time to go. One, I already knew, okay, that is kind of ironic that happened right outside this part-time job I was going to take, because most of the time I just focus on my licenses, but I really wanted to do something that I had on paper, because I'm wanting to buy a new house. Anyway, long story short. So, I looked at that like, okay, God, you don't want me to work here. You made it very clear. But it went further as the week went along. I just started doing my meditation, and if you knew, I do a lot of meditation. I work with my crystals. I'm heavily into, prayer and meditation. I do believe in God. Meditation is not a cult for those who don't know. So I meditated all throughout the week on the answers to why did this happen, because as I always tell you guys, never look at the things that we take as bad as all bad. Ask God, ask Spirit, ask the universe, what is it that you are supposed to get out of that situation? What is it that you're supposed to learn? What's the lesson that you need to learn? What's the message that the universe is trying to give you at that time? So that's what I meditated on all throughout the week. And what I got out of it, I woke up, I think maybe 2 days ago or 3 days ago. And the song that I woke up to, just know that songs are messages too, guys. So when you have questions and you just like, God, give me a sign, give me an answer. Oh, God will speak through song. So I woke up to, you gotta know when to hold them, know when to walk away, know when to something, and you gotta count your blessings. I don't know. I think it's Kenny Rogers, but I was trying to look it up and I couldn't find the title because I don't know the title, but I think it's Kenny Rogers. And I don't even really listen to country music like that, but this is the song that came in my head as soon as I opened up my eyes. And then as I got the day going, I'm brushing my teeth, and all of a sudden I hear, it's time. Planet Rock. I think it's Planet Rock, but it's an old 80s like hip hop song. It's time. Y'all know I can't sing, so don't be laughing. Anyway, so those two songs for me confirm that there is something more than just this accident. There is something more that I need to be paying attention to. And I just felt, okay, I guess it's time to go. Now, at first I was thinking it's time to, and I'm sharing this story. I know y'all probably like, why is she? I'm sharing this story to help you to get enlightenment with any indecisions that you might have if you are right now going through making a decision to try something new, get a new job, work on a new purpose, start your dreams, leave a relationship, all these things, move to a different state, country, whatever, move around the block, whatever. This is how sometimes I have to share with you so that you can look at your situation, okay? Only know what comes from me and what comes through my spirit. But nevertheless, at first I was thinking, okay, maybe I need to move in a different area on the north side, north side, north state, cities, whatever. But then it was like, no, you need to go back down south. And it was very clear. And I was like, wow, okay, I'm going to go down south. So where I'm going to go? And that same night, my homegirl from Georgia called me. And was like, no, first she texted me. She was like, what's up, sis? Where you been? Haven't heard from you for a while. You good or whatever? And I was like, well, okay, there's my decision. So I talked to her. We chatted for a while. And I was like, thinking about coming back down south. She was like, what? Come on. So I was like, all right. And that was that. So I know that was kind of drawn out, but I just had to let y'all know how I arrived to this point. And I look at what I've learned while I was on the north side and while I was on the south side. And both sides, I learned a lot of valuable lessons for myself. So while I was here on the north side these last few years, and it's been some years that I've been on the north side, this go round, I've learned the whole meditation, yoga. I pretty much found myself, my true calling, my true purpose. I got the podcast show going. I got my books published. I started my websites, my blogs. I did more licensing and certifications in different areas so that I could make more money. I got certified with the juvenile system, with the, to go in and talk and do things with people that's incarcerated, although I have not had a chance to start some of those classes, but I've done a couple. Okay, so I did get it started, but I didn't go in deep like I wanted to yet, and I will. The thing is, all the goals that I set for myself since I've been on the north side, that I wanted to put in place and achieve and get done, I did them. The books, I put the books together, I published them. But now, what God put on my heart that is, I need to go back on the south side and share them with people and youth on the south side of things. I need to share what I put together on the north side to the south side. And I'm like, wow, okay. And I thought that I was being stagnant, financially. My finances wasn't moving the way I wanted them to on the north side this go round. And I was thinking that, okay, that's why I need to move. Because I know on the south side, I can make out better. Because on the south side is where I learned the whole mortgage industry, where I first got started in the insurance industry, where, I first started going to seminars, meetings, and stuff about that. Is where I first started creating websites and designing websites. Is where I first started doing my youth, working with youth and running my media and my fashion programs. Is where I got my first building to start my academy. But I had to stop after my grand opening to come back to Philly to take care of a property of mine that my mom had and gave to me. And I had to take care of it. So that really wasn't for me. It was for me, but it wasn't for me. You know what I mean? Because it was work with that. It wasn't just, okay, come back and take care of something. It was work with it. But nevertheless, I'm grateful because it got me back to the north side where I reaped all of the benefits I just shared with you. So y'all see how that goes? If we never venture out of our comfort zone, if we never venture out of our fear of, temptations that's keeping us behind, and illusions, however you want to say it, that we have formed in our mind that this is it for us. Where we are right now is the safest place we can be, is the best place we can be, is the best thing that we can be doing in our life, period. It's the only place on the planet that we should be. And when I say that only place, again, I'm talking a broad aspect. I'm talking job, house, city, state, whatever. I'm talking a broad aspect, okay? Because we have so many people in this world, as I say, that die with all the purpose that God has instilled in them and take it to their grave because of fear. Because of fear of maybe being accepted, to a whole new world. Maybe fear of thinking that they might not know how to survive in a whole new world, area, city, state. Fear of them thinking that they're going to be like a fish out of water, just flopping around and then just die. This is what happens, and I get it. I've talked to so many different people that had different dreams and visions. I've worked with different people that had dreams and visions that were just so petrified of giving it, of working at it, of believing in themselves, of believing that their dream actually can come to pass. And it's sad because my thing is, if you never go, how will you know? Let me say that again. If you never go, how will you know? If you never go, how will you know? If you never go and try a new career, if you never go and move to a new state, if you never go and venture and come together in a new relationship, if you never go, and when I say in a new relationship, I don't mean that, if your relationship now is good and all of that you just, or your marriage is good, you got responsibilities, you just up and leave. I mean, like, if okay, that's over, that's done, there's no growth there, there's no chance of growing, handle it responsibly, okay? Handle it responsibly and move on, because I do know that relationships can keep you stuck. Relationships can stunt your growth. And when I say relationships, I'm not just talking about intimate relationships. I'm talking about friendships too. So, like for me, this is another thing I got out of coming back to the north side of things. Closure. Chapters closed in my life with friends and, people that I thought was my friends, with relationships, people that I dealt with or whatever. Closure. I got a lot of closure. And so that's what I'm saying. You never know why God takes you to certain places and puts certain things on your heart at certain times to do. You never know. How will you know if you don't go? That's a t-shirt. Don't nobody steal it out there. I'm going to have to make that one up. How do you know if you don't go? Okay? I mean, really, seriously, like, when you look at these different celebrities out here, if you listen to a lot of their backstories and not look at their current state, trust me, you will learn a lot of the fears that they had to move across the state, they might have been in this small little town in the South, and they decided, look, I'm going to follow my dream. I don't know nobody in LA, but I'm going for it. I have a cousin that did that. He was from Philly, and years ago, I'm talking years ago, probably over 20 years ago, I remember him saying he wanted to be an actor and he was moving to California. And he did it. And guess what? He's an actor. He's been an actor ever since. He's been in movies. He's been in TV shows. Sure, he's had ups and downs. But he has his place. He has, it's just like with anything. You're going to have your ups and downs right where you are. So what do you rather do? Have your ups and downs right where you are in your same place that you live in, that you've been living in for years, and the same job you've been at for years, and the same relationship you've been at for years. Are you going to continue to have the same type of ups and downs there, or are you going to go for it and invest in yourself and work at doing something new, learning something new, working towards growing into a new person, working towards helping your spirit to breathe, to get a fresh new energy, to, you know what I mean? And that's what life is all about. That's what it's all about. At the end of the day, you can always go back. At the end of the day, if you just leave your job on a good note, you can always go back. Trust me, because I know. I'm going to say 90% of the jobs that I've ever worked at, I can go back to because I left on a good note. One of the jobs I had, I got my son. I wasn't there for like probably 15 years. And when I came back to the north side, that was my son's first job. I went there. The manager was still there. He was like, oh, my gosh, you going to come back? And I was like, I'll come back part-time, help out my son, whatever. Hired my son right on the spot, you know. Another matter of fact, when I moved back to the north, I moved in one of my old apartments that I used to manage. The person that I trained before I left was still the manager. Because I left on a good note, I was able to go back. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's at the end of the day, if you don't like going into a new occupation or moving to a new state or, you know, go back home. Go back home. You know what I mean? It's simple as that. If in doubt, go back home. That's it. And when I say home, I don't mean just home as in a house or a neighborhood. I mean home as to where you feel home is. I'm going to be honest. I might have I grew up in Philadelphia. That's my hometown. That's where I grew up. But to be honest, my heart feels more at home down south. Nothing against the north, but my heart I feel more in place down south. I feel like I've grown more as a person, as a spirit, as a human being. I feel like I have always been happier when I was down south. And you know what? My family agrees. Me and my cousin was talking. She said the same thing. My mom said the same thing. You've always been happier down south. I think even my son, you know. So it's like, my son's grown. He's 21. He got his house. I just moved him into it, a couple days ago. His homeboys, you know, shared a house with him. They good to go. It's not like I'm not going to be coming back and forth and checking on him. It's not like he can't fly out. You know, I get on the road in a heartbeat. But at the end of the day, we are all individuals. And long as your kids are grown, they have their own lessons to learn. Hear that? Long as your kids are grown, they have their own lessons to learn. And you have to learn when to cut the cords and let them fly. Let them bump their head a couple of times, but continue to guide them, continue to be there for them, but to a certain extent, because just like you had to learn, they got to learn. And you do your children a disservice when you hold on too tight, when you don't let them breathe, when you just worry so much that it's like you don't give them a chance to learn how to fix their own problems. You got to let them learn how to fix their own problems just like you had to learn how to fix yours. And so me and my son, we had a deep conversation about it. And he was like, Mom, even though I want you to stay, I really do think that it's more beneficial for you to go. I think it is. And we work it out on the breaks and all of that stuff. It's like, all right, cool. As long as I got your approval, I'm good to go. That's it. You know? Because that was really my main concern. That was really, me staying on the north side of things just to be closer to my son. But it comes a point in your life as an adult, once you have done the work, you raise your kids, you have to start making a life for yourself. You have to start, really rebooting those passions, the dreams, the visions that you have. You have to start anew. You have to be open and receptive to a new beginning. You have to let go of the old so that the new can come in. The old lifestyle, the old life, the old you, so that the new you can shine through. Ooh, I'm just on point today. You gotta let go of the old you so that the new you can shine through. I'm gonna have to listen back to this show to get these doggone sayings. This is how much my spirit, this is how I know it's time to go. Because my spirit is just so excited, I'm just excited to see how, I had my stuff planned out, definitely. But I'm just excited to see what God has for me because I'm being faithful. Again, I'm not being fearful because fear is false evidence appearing real. Let me say that again. Fear is false evidence appearing real. And what I mean by that is you're feeding yourself this evidence that if you take this leap of faith to do something different, to do something out of your norm, that you're going to fail, that it's going to go wrong, that it's going to be a disaster, that you're not going to make it, and all of this stuff. You just fed yourself this whole vision that shit is going to go haywire. So that's false evidence because it didn't go haywire because you didn't do it yet. So you fed yourself that vision. That's the false evidence. And now you all fearful. Now you doubting yourself. Now you doubting your decision. Now you doubting what's really in your heart to do. That is appearing real. You know what I'm saying? False evidence appearing real because now the real is the part that filled your heart up with fear. The real is the part that fills your heart up with doubt. That's what fear is. It is the enemy's way to keep you from becoming the best version of you, keep you from learning more about you, keep you from learning more about your purpose, your gifts, and your talents that God has waiting for you on the other side of the fence. That is what fear does. And that's what a lot of people get stuck in. And it's sad. And I feel bad. And I want to cry for you all. They're stuck. Be ready to transform your life. Be ready for that new adventure. Be ready for that new beginning. It's just like a pregnant woman, having this baby and carrying this baby for 9 whole months. This baby is in the belly. I want you to picture this. The baby is just in the belly, chilling, doing nothing. They ain't paying no bills. Just in the belly, eating, just eating, drinking and eating. That's it. That's all the baby knows what to do. And then the baby just comes out one day, pokes his little head out or her little head out, and comes out to this world and looks around. Might come out crying because they mad. Because now it's all these people around and they don't know what's going on. They just like, dang, I was so comfortable. Why they just pull me out of my comfort zone like that? I was chilling. I was eating. I was drinking. I ain't have to do nothing. I ain't have to walk. I ain't have to learn to walk. I ain't have to learn how to talk. I didn't have to learn how to do none of that. I pushed me back in the stomach because I was comfortable there. I was chilling. So if the baby continued to stay in the stomach, how would the baby grow? How would the baby learn how to talk, walk? How would the baby learn how to draw, to play the piano, to sing, dance, all of this stuff? If the baby had to stay in the belly for years. This is how you got to look at your life. You could be a whole adult, grown, in your 60s even. You could be in your 30s, your 20s, whatever. But just look at yourself as an infant, as a embryo. Let's do that. Let's envision ourselves as an embryo. Let's get some paper and let's write down, okay, this is my new life. How do I want my new life to look? What are the things that I would like to learn? What are the things that I know I need to learn? Because a lot of times we're so fearful of new things and learning new things, we won't learn it. When we know we need to learn. We need to learn new things. Just because you're an adult don't mean you don't need to learn new things. I learn new things from my son all the time. From the kids that I teach all the time when I'm dealing with my little contracts and stuff like that. I learn so much from those kids. Just like I'm teaching them, they teach me. And you got to be open and receptive to receive that new information. You can't fight it. You can't be prideful and egotistical thinking that, oh, I know everything. I'm good. I'm good where I'm at. I'm cool where I'm at. I don't need to do nothing else but what I'm doing, because what I'm doing is working for me. What I'm doing is paying my bills. What I'm doing is bringing in some money. But is it enough? Really? Is it enough? Think about your life. Think about what you want out of life. You might be working harder, but not working smarter. A lot of times that's what we do. We work harder and not smarter, all because we don't want to learn something new to teach us how we can work smarter, how we can make what we're doing be smoother for us. That's what happens. And so that's why a lot of us get held back from flourishing and blooming into this beautiful, beautiful flower. We stay in bud form. We stay in cocoon form instead of coming out to be this beautiful, transform into this beautiful butterfly. So I'm going to leave y'all with that, okay? I didn't talk too much today. I'm just so super hyped. I'm ready. Even though I just came from a 4-hour drive, I hurried up, got to my computer. And I thought I was going to fall asleep. I was saying in the car I need to take a nap. And me and my son, we driving back. I'm about to drop him off, and Drake was on. I don't even know the name of the song, but I'm saying to myself, I really need to take a nap before I do the show, right? We was kind of still far away. And as soon as I said that in my head, Drake was like, I don't take naps. Something, I don't know what the song was, but the lyrics was, as soon as I said it in my head, I need to take a nap. He was like, I don't take naps. I was like, wow, okay, God, I can't take a nap. And sure enough, I didn't have time to take a nap when I got back. I just was like, oh my gosh, let me hurry up, change my clothes, get to the computer, type something in. All you see is the title right now, no description, because that's how much I was pushing my time. And now after this, I got to start packing. Between today and tomorrow, got to get it done so I could get on the road probably Tuesday afternoon or something. But with all that said, I hope y'all got a lot out of this. Oh, and I just missed my anniversary. Chronicles of Living anniversary was just the 13th of this month. And that's what I'm saying. It's been on for 2 years, guys. 2 years. The show has been on for 2 whole years. Can y'all believe it? That's what I'm saying. If I didn't come back up north, maybe I wouldn't have did the podcast show. Maybe I would have been focused on my academy down there. You know what I'm saying? So you have to look at things like that. So I want to thank you guys for making this show what it is. Thank you for listening all over the world. All over the world. Oh my gosh, I'd be so hyped when I look at the stats. I hope that you all are continually, or whatever. I'm too tongue-tied right now. To grow from the show and to learn new things about yourself, to learn new ways to handle situations, to stop yourself, look at your attitude, fix your mindset, and go deep within your spirit And always check yourself. Always look at who you are. Look at yourself in the mirror. Ask yourself, would I date myself? Do all of those things so that we can become the best version of ourselves. Please, guys, I have to do it, so you need to do it. Self-reflection is the most healthiest thing that you can do on a daily basis for you. That is the best way to invest in yourself, as long as you are honest with yourself and watch the changes unfold. Watch not just the changes in yourself, but the changes in your life, the changes in your lifestyle, the changes in your health, in your wealth. Just watch. If you be true with you. I'm on fire today. If I had a pulpit right now, they'd be like, preach, girl. Yeah. But thank you for supporting the books. 90-Day Visionary Dreamer Journal. I'm probably saying it wrong. My own book. And Transform Your Life. Well, Visionary Dreamer 90-Day. The journal. Okay. And thank you for purchasing the Transform Your Life, the Visionary Dreamer Workbook. Both are available on Amazon and Barnes & Nobles. I will put the link down in the description. Just give me a few minutes. Just continue to follow me. Just continue to share, please. And when I touch ground and get situated down south, then that's when I will start unfolding all the other things I've been talking about. I knew it was a reason why God had me waiting to do more YouTube, videos and things of that nature. It was a reason. And so I was just obedient, and yeah, it's about to be on. So yes. Thank you guys for hanging out with me so long, especially if you are listening up to this point. I love you guys. Oh my gosh. I just really love you guys, and I appreciate each and every last one of you. And I give you kisses from afar. Love you guys. Until next week, this is Adion, your dream pusher, your lifeguard, saving you from yourself, from the world, from some real bullshit. And you are listening to Chronicles of Living podcast show, the show for everyday people doing everyday things, living everyday life. Us extraordinary folk doing the damn thing the best way we can. I love you guys. Until next Sunday, peace. Thank you for listening to Chronicles of Living, where we talk to everyday people about everyday things in the past, present, and future. And if you are pursuing your dreams, I'm proud of you. Because the best part of life is when you decide to live. To keep up with us, please visit chroniclesofliving.com. Until next time, this is Adion, your dream pusher. I love you guys.